Take a moment, let your body get settled. Bring your thumb and index finger together and softly close your eyes. Allow the belly to soften and the low back muscles to soften for a moment, and receive the breath all the way into that lowest part of the diaphragm. As you inhale, let the diaphragm lift with energy. You'll feel the chest lift and the rib cage expand. And exhale, soften that, release, let it go. Welcome the breath again into the lowest part of the diaphragm. As you inhale, let it lift and lengthen up. It feels like a piston moving up and down inside the body. As you exhale, the belly relaxes and the diaphragm drops down. Continue to breathe this really deep diaphragmatic breath, allowing this lifting from the inside, this internal lift. And with your exhale, releasing anything that's weighing heavy on your heart, your mind. One more breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale fully. Take your right hand, plug your right nostril. Inhale through the left for a count of 7. Hold the breath. Take your middle and index finger, plug the left nostril. Both nostrils are plugged. Keep plugging the left nostril. Release the right thumb. Exhale through the right for a count of 7. Inhale through the right. Plug and hold. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Plug and hold. Exhale through the right. Continue to breathe in this pattern. Inhaling, plugging and holding, and exhaling. And again, inhaling, plug and hold, and exhale. Once you finish off this next exhale, release your arm. Drop your chin slightly. Interlace your fingers and turn your palms forward. So you're going to round slightly through that upper spine, but don't force it. Drop the chin just a little bit. Draw the belly muscles to the spine. The tailbone will lengthen down. And then as you inhale, lift the arms, lift the sternum, lift the chest, lift the arms, sternum, chest, until you feel upright and you're getting a stretch. That's it. Deep breath. Grow longer. Press through the fingertips. Press through the palms of the hands. One more breath. Inhale. Excuse me. Exhale and release. Both arms out to the side. Keep your right arm down. Walk your left fingertips up and over. Maintain energy in the right arm, so maybe you can tent the fingers or push down slightly with the palm of the hand. And reach your left arm up and over. 3 breaths. Take your gaze, I would say, down slightly towards the right knee, right shin, or right forearm. Press down with that left sit bone. One more breath. And then just release and switch sides. Lower your left arm down, walk it out. Reach your right arm up and over. Either tent the left fingertips or push the palm down. Reach the right arm strongly up and over. Draw that right sit bone down. Deep breath. Exhale, completely grow longer, longer, longer. One more breath. And release. Okay, first side variation. You're gonna reach your left arm back up and over. Walk your right arm out to the side. And then from this expansion of the left side body, lower the left fingertips down. So you're leaning to your right, the left fingertips are on the ground. Walk your right arm back in a few inches, but stay leaning slightly to the left. Bend your right elbow and wrap it around either the back of the skull or that top ear. The key is not to pull on the head. The key is just to rest the arm, rest the palm of the hand. And then take a deep breath into that left side of the neck, the left shoulder. As you exhale, if you don't feel a stretch, let the hand get heavier. Let that top hand get heavier. Don't move the neck. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Maybe let the top hand get heavier. 1 more breath. And then instead of lifting the head, just release the right arm and immediately roll the chin slowly into neutral so it's facing the center of the belly. Take a deep breath in neutral. Exhale completely. Bring the heel of your hand to your forehead so you're not using your neck muscles. Use your belly. Use your hand to support your skull and take at least 2 breaths. Inhale and exhale. And then 1 more breath before you lift your head slowly back into upright. All right, second side. Walk your left fingertips out. Reach the right arm up and over. Just get that stretch on the right side of the body. And then stay leaning to the left. Reach the right fingertips back down. Make sure they can touch the ground. Walk the left hand in just a little. Bend the left elbow. Wrap it around either the back of the skull if you want to tilt your chin down, or right around the side of the ear. Relax the jaw. Maintain focus with the right fingertips just gently connecting to the earth. Deep breath into the right neck, the right shoulder. If you want more intensity, you let the top hand get heavier. Otherwise, maintain the same energy that you have in it right now. 1 more breath. Exhale completely. Release your left arm. As you do, roll your chin into neutral. Pause. Take 2 breaths in neutral. Don't rush it. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Let the chin get heavy. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Bring the heel of the hand to the forehead. Take at least 2 breaths to bring that head to upright. Slowly press the head up a little bit. Breathe. Use your abdominals. Keep the neck relaxed. Slowly press the head up a little bit more. Breathe. And then slowly all the way back to upright. Good. From upright, take a look which leg is on top. Open the legs. Take a moment and straddle. If you're up on a blanket and you don't like that and straddle, just shift forward off the blanket. Reach your arms to the sky. Press down with your heels and press down with the backs of your knees as if you've got grapes here and you're trying to flatten those grapes. And press down with the sit bones. And then draw your awareness to the pelvis. Just try not to be rocked forward so you're tucked under, nor dipping the pelvis forward so the belly is kind of flopping open. Keep the pelvis upright. Reach the arms to the sky. Legs are pushing like you're pushing into 2 walls. Hook your thumbs and your fingertips point up straight up to the sky. Use your belly muscles. Use your abdomen. Deep breath. Use the legs. Stretch from the belly, from the spine, up into the fingertips, not just arms, shoulders. Keep the shoulders connected to the spine. Again, deep breath. Exhale and release. Okay, grab your book or, block if you're watching and you have a block. Otherwise, grab a book, something that has some weight to it. So ideally a hardcover book. And you're going to take it out in front of your body like so. Okay, so the alignment is my fingers are together. My thumb is up to the sky as if I'm wearing a mitten. And then my index finger knuckle to my pinky knuckle should connect to some part of that book or block. Spine is straight. Okay. Press gently as if you're holding a baby. Okay, you don't want to drop the baby. You don't want to crush the baby. Lift your belly muscles. You want to broaden across the collarbone. So I'll kind of show you what I don't want you to do. I don't want you to round. Open through the chest, broaden across the collarbones, squeeze the block, and use the abdomen, use the cores to kind of engage and stay upright. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, lengthen through the pinkies, like you're lengthening faster than the thumbs, as if the pinkies want to reach beyond the toes. Take a deep breath, inhale. Ground with the sit bones. Draw the front ribs in and lift the block forward and up, just about 10, 15 degrees. Full deep breath, inhale. This is your serratus working. Exhale, squeeze the block. If this is still good for you, inhale. Move the block up a little bit more, another 10 or 15 degrees. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze the block. I'll turn to face camera exactly. Inhale. Move the block even more, maybe another 10 to 15 degrees. Inhale. Grow longer, belly to spine. 1 more breath. Exhale, twist slightly over to your right. Keep that block squeezing. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist slightly over to your left. Keep that block squeezing. Inhale to center, grow taller. Exhale and release, lower the block. Roll the shoulders up and back a few times. Bring them forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. So softer now, as if you have a beach ball, but you're not doing so intense. But I want you to use still that core. Twist to your right, lower your right fingertips down. Walk over just a little bit. Not too much. Keep your left sit bone grounded. Take a deep breath. Use your belly, stretch, grow longer. That's it. Take one more breath. Exhale. Walk your hands back in. Use the belly, walk them all the way in. Reach the arms up, spine is upright. Rotate to center. Inhale. Exhale, rotate to your left. Lower your fingertips, walk them forward, forward, forward. Ground through that right sit bone. Make sure the pelvis is still upright. Take a deep breath. Belly strong. Chest expanding, broadening. Walk the hands back in when the spine is upright. Inhale, reach the arms up. Bring them forward to the center. Now inhale here. Keep your feet grounded. Don't let them wobble or wiggle. I think I just made up a word. And lean forward just a little bit. My arms are wider than my shoulders. Inhale deeply. Use the belly muscles. Lean forward maybe a little bit more. So you're going to go to your edge. Deep breath, inhale. Reach. Again, deep breath, inhale. Reach. One more breath. And then lower your fingertips down. Walk them a little bit wider. If you have a block, you can rest your forehead on the block. You don't need to do that. You can walk your fingertips and lower the chin to the chest. Keep the legs strong. So this should be working your legs a lot. 2 more breaths. Deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. And a deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. All right, walk your hands back in and come onto your back. We'll do a little bit more core here. Take a moment, just hug your knees into your chest. Give them a nice squeeze. Rock back and forth on your spine like you're massaging the low back. Notice where you're holding tension. Maybe breathe into that part of the body a little bit more. And take one more breath here. And then palms down, reach both legs up to the sky. Flex through the heels. Draw the navel to the spine and reach the tailbone forward. Keep your palms down, keep your left foot lifted, lower your right foot about halfway. Pause. Reach your fingertips up towards your left foot. Draw the belly down and imagine you're trying to reach the fingers past the left foot. And then slowly reach the arms up and over, just like you did with the block. So it's going to feel a little bit like warrior 3 in the legs and almost like you're doing a handstand in the upper body. Reach and stretch. Release. Bring everything back into center. Hug your knees. Relax. Second side. So starting off with the movement smaller, we might expand them. Legs up to the ceiling, 90 degrees between my legs and my body. Lower your left foot about halfway or a little less than halfway. Keep your right leg reaching to the ceiling, belly to spine. If your pelvis starts to rock, then don't lower that left foot as low. Bring it up a little higher. Reach your fingertips near the right foot, draw the belly down, and then slowly reach the arms up and over. Find your edge, deep breath. Tailbone lengthens, navel to spine. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. One more breath. And release. Draw both knees into your chest. Squeeze them into the back. All right. And again. Inhale, legs up to the ceiling. Exhale, lower the right foot, maybe a little bit lower. So a couple things you can do. If this feels challenging, but you can maintain that pelvis flat and you're not arching in the low back, you can play with this challenge and lower the right foot even more. If you feel like this is your edge, but you want to lower the right foot lower, second option would be to bend the left knee into your chest. That'll give you a little more range of motion with that right foot. Okay, so we'll do 3 rounds. So we'll have an opportunity to do all 3. So right foot lowers, left leg is lifted, arms, fingers to the ceiling, belly to the spine. Inhale. Exhale, slowly reach the arms up and over halfway. Inhale, deep breath. That's it. Slowly reach the arms up and over more. One more breath. Slowly reach the arms up and over more. Now play with that right foot. With the arms up and over, you might be able to lower the right foot another inch or 2. You've warmed up these muscles. And then bring your right foot up. Keep the arms lifted. Bring the arms back to the ceiling. Lower your left foot. Lower it a little bit more than before. Play with that edge. Okay, maybe on this side you need to bend the right knee, maybe not. Reach the arms to the ceiling, draw the belly to the spine, tailbone is long. Reach the arms up and over halfway. Keep connecting belly to spine. Inhale, reach the arms up and over so they're hovering a few inches above the floor, but they're over your head. And then play with that left leg. Maybe you can lower it an inch or two more. Inhale and bring it back up. All right, now knees to chest. Last version. Palms down. Push down just a little bit so your tailbone curls up slightly and your thighs touch your rib cage. Keep the left thigh glued to the rib cage. Reach the right leg up to the ceiling and lower the right foot down. Keep the left thigh glued. Don't let the ribs and the pelvis rock. So left knee stays glued, but I'm using just the strength of my body. My palms are pressing down. Lower the right foot till it hovers and then lift it back up. Imagine you're painting a line, so you're painting a straight line up and down. Try not to let that right foot wobble. Lift it back up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lift. All right, last one. Lower to your edge. Reach your left leg to the sky. Reach your fingers towards your left foot to the ceiling. Belly to spine, belly to spine. Reach the arms overhead. Now reach everything away from one another. Inhale. Imagine your body's a starfish. Reach the legs apart. Reach the arms. Draw the belly to the spine. Again, deep breath. Inhale, grow longer. Exhale and release. Draw your knees to your chest. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. Second side, palms down. Reach the left leg to the sky. Right knee stays into the chest. Right knee stays glued and tight. Palms by my side. Lower the left foot. And again, notice when the pelvis starts to rock, that means you've gone a little too far. Hug that right knee back in using your body, not your arms. Take a deep breath here. Exhale, lift that left leg back up. Inhale, paint a straight line as you go down. Exhale, paint that same back line as you go up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Keep the right knee glued and tight. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale and lift. Few more. Inhale and exhale. And one more. Inhale and exhale. Lower the left foot to your edge. Reach your right leg to the ceiling. Fingers reach towards the right foot to the ceiling. Belly to spine, tailbone long. Reach the arms up and over. Now imagine that starfish. Inhale. Everything draws into the center. Exhale. Everything expands from the center. Inhale like you're drawing your legs in, your arms in. Exhale like you're reaching it wide, 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 long and apart. One more breath. Inhale, draw to the center. Exhale, reach. And release. Draw your knees to your chest. Take an easy twist, knees to one side. Reach through the opposite arm. Inhale to center. Knees to the opposite side. Reach through the opposite arm. All right, bridge pose, stretch it out. We'll do a few more. Just bring your feet down. Nice and easy. You can lift your hips and your arms if you want, or you can keep the arms down, more of a classic bridge. Okay, 5 breaths. Deep breath in. Let the belly muscle stretch, lengthen your tailbone right in between your knees. Ground through your feet. As you breathe, let the sternum, let the chest lift. I'm going to get a sip of tea. 2 more breaths. Inhale deeply. Excuse me. Exhale fully. And 1 more breath. Inhale deeply. And exhale fully. Okay, from bridge pose, slowly lower the spine back down. So you're going to lower upper spine, and then middle spine, and then lower spine. All right, second one. Bring your legs up to the ceiling. Try to keep your left leg stable. Lower the right foot, so now you know your edge. Turn the right foot out so externally rotates. Rotate in a half circle, back up, meet the right foot to the left. Okay. Inhale, lower the right foot. Rotate it out to the side, half circle, around and up. I am using my arms to stabilize me. Don't move the pelvis. If the pelvis moves, make the circle smaller. Okay, 2 more times. Inhale, lower. Externally rotate around. Slowly exhale back up. Try and use just belly, hips, glutes, right, to move. Not shoulders, not neck. Exhale, lift back up. Okay, second side. Inhale, lower the left leg. Externally rotate around. Exhale, around and back up. Inhale, lower. Externally rotate. Half circle around. Left foot meets with the right and back up. Inhale, lengthen. Externally rotate around and back up. One more. Inhale, lengthen. Externally rotate around and back up. All right, this next one I call helicopter abs, and got it from my teacher Shiva years ago. That's not what she called it. Don't remember what she called it, but it's fun. If you think about it too much, it messes with your mind. Your body knows these movements. We just did them, okay? Lower the right foot, keep the left foot lifted. Rotate both legs around and swing them around like a helicopter switch. Now the right leg is on top, the left leg's on bottom. Lift the left leg back up to meet the right. Okay, then you switch. Keep the right leg lifted, lower the left foot so it hovers. Both legs rotate out to the side. Switch like a helicopter, good. Reach the right leg back up to meet the left. Inhale, right leg lowers, left leg to the sky, rotate. Exhale, left leg lifts. Inhale, left leg lowers, rotate. Exhale, right leg lifts. 3 more cycles. Right leg lowers, inhale, rotate. Exhale, left leg lifts. Left leg lowers, inhale, rotate. Exhale, right leg lifts. 2 more cycles. Right leg lower, rotate. Exhale, lift the left leg. Left leg lowers, rotate. Exhale, lift the right leg. Last cycle. Right leg lowers, rotate. Exhale, lift the left. Left leg lowers, rotate. Exhale, lift the right. Draw the knees to the chest. Give yourself a little hug. Open the arms out to the side. Palms can face down or up. I prefer down. Drop the knees to your right, but hover about halfway down. Reach with the left arm. Reach, reach, reach. And then just think like your legs are so strong and so heavy that you're slowly going to have to lower them down, but with control, 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 all the way down. Then look back at your left arm or straight up to the ceiling. Deep breath. Exhale completely. One more breath. Draw the belly muscles and bring the knees a little closer to the shoulder. Lift them back up into neutral. If your pelvis wobbled, make sure that it's even. Second side. Drop the knees halfway over to the left. Knees stay high up, closer to the armpit. Pause. Press through the right arm. Resist. Resist. Resist those legs dropping. Resist. 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 All the way down. Keep resisting. Keep resisting until you can't resist anymore because the knees, legs, thighs touch the ground. Reach through the right arm. Gaze is either up or to the right. Deep breath. Exhale completely. One more breath. And exhale. Round through the spine. Draw the navel to the spine. Curl up. Bring the feet down. Bridge pose again. This time use your middle finger. See if you can touch the edge of your heel with the tip of your middle finger. That's about your distance. Press your palms down or grab a hold of your mat and lift your hips up. Breathe into the sides of the waist. Breathe into the sides of the ribs, up into the armpits. You can draw your shoulder blades underneath you if you feel like they are kind of crunching. Broaden across the collarbones. And then draw your right knee to your chest. Reach your right leg to the sky. Take a deep breath. Lower the right foot so it hovers knee height at the left. Externally rotate. Bend the right knee. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Lift that left glute up. Make sure the right hip stays around the same height as the left. Take a deep breath. Release that extension. Extend the right leg tall and then hinge and lower. Reset. Inhale, lift the left leg, knee to chest, leg to the sky. Pause. Externally rotate. Bend the knee. Cross left ankle over right knee. Engage that lower right glute. Right hamstring. Lift that left frontal hip bone. Take a deep breath. Release the left leg. Come back to center. Inhale, lift your bridge up a little bit higher. Broaden across the collarbones, breathe into the chest, and then slowly curl the tailbone. You can lift the heels here if you want. Curl the tailbone as you lower. So the low back is the very last thing, and the tailbone is the very, 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 very last thing to touch. Once you slowly lower down, bring the soles of the feet together, Baddha Konasana. Hook your thumbs if you want a little bit more of an active stretch. Otherwise, arms up and over, palms can stay open. I actually like to cross my elbows and forearms and bring the forearms overhead. Just take 3 deep breaths into your low back. Okay, as you breathe, broaden the breath across the low spine, broaden across the rib cage, breathe into the sacrum, breathe into the pelvis. Come back to that really centered, focused, honest breath. And then slowly release your arms by your sides. Draw your knees together, roll over to your side, and come back to seated. All right, one more core, Navasana variation. So knees bent, heels flat, and then flex through the heels. Reach your arms forward. Lift up through the belly, broaden across the collarbones. Draw the belly to the spine. I should have said lift up through the chest. That's what I meant, not lift up through the belly, but from the belly to the chest lift. Then draw the belly to the spine and lengthen the tailbone down. Lean back just a little and lift your right foot up off the ground. Deep breath. You're trying to draw your right thigh closer to you and your chest closer to the thigh. Switch. Lift your left foot up off the ground. Inhale. Switch. Dig down with your left heel. Reach your right foot up off the ground. Switch, dig down with your right heel, reach your left foot up off the ground. If this is easy for you, lean back, both knees stay lifted, attempt to keep the spine straight. This one's always hard for me, right? Full Navasana, I tend to clench in the hip flexors, but if you want to play with it, play with it. All right, variation from knees bent. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Lean onto your left hips. Your right bum is, it's light, okay? You can use your fingertips for support or no harms. Stretch, bend the knees, draw in. The weight's on my left hip. Stretch, I can use my fingertips or nothing, draw in. Getting more into those side body muscles, the obliques, the intercostals. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. Pause. Release. Give yourself a little stretch out of that back. And then second side. Lean back. Bend your knees. Cross your left ankle over your right. Now you're leaning on the right hip. You can use your fingertips or not. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, use the muscles on the left oblique, the left hip. 2 more. Inhale. Draw in as you exhale. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. All right, release. Give yourself a forward fold. Cross your shins. Reach your arms up to the sky. Stretch forward. Maintain pelvis on the ground. Walk, walk, walk forward. Take a deep breath here. Relax the forehead down a little. Stay active in the arms and the fingertips. Exhale completely. And 1 more breath. Inhale and exhale completely. All right, roll forward. Come onto your hands and knees. You need to pad your knees. Take a blanket, pad the knees. Cat and cow. Stretch out the belly muscles. 5 slow rounds. Inhale as you take the sternum forward. Stretch. Arms, feet, shins are active. Exhale, curl, curl, curl the spine up and release. Tailbone drops. Inhale, deep breath. Reach, sternum. Keep the belly muscles strong even as you stretch them. Exhale, curl, curl, and release. Find that image of a wave, and this internal wave, it builds, it peaks. And then as you exhale, it releases, and that last part of the wave crashes onto shore. Deep breath. And 1 more deep breath in. And exhale all the breath out. Puppy dog pose, knees wide, anahata. Reach your fingertips forward. Keep the belly muscles lifted. Keep the hips over the knees. And then stretch, stretch, stretch the sternum. Option, bend your elbows, let your forehead down, or keep your arms straight, stretch, and let your forehead rest. If you keep traction in the spine and you keep strength in the belly, it's a really therapeutic posture. But you got to keep the belly strong so the low back doesn't collapse. And you've got to stretch from the fingertips to the sacrum, to the pelvis. Take one more breath. Walk your hands back in a little bit. So if you are practicing and you have a blanket, move it out of the way. Come down onto your forearms into Sphinx pose. Stretch your legs back behind you. If this is a little too much on the upper back, walk your elbows forward of the shoulders slightly. Otherwise, you can do elbows under your shoulders. Gaze is forward. It's a very kind of proud and relaxed pose, just like the Sphinx. Press the forearms down and imagine that your arm begins from your forearm. So from the forearm to the fingertips, I'm stretching forward. And then let the belly muscle stretch. Let the pelvis be heavy but relaxed. So I'm not clenching my glutes. It's almost as if there's a sandbag on the sacrum and it's just keeping that heaviness in the pelvis. If you have low back stuff, imagine the tailbone dropping down a little, slight tuck. Take one more breath. Exhale completely. From the belly, reach the arms forward like you're about to go swimming, but take it, the pinky edges of the hands down like you're karate chopping the ground. And then lengthen your right foot, lift it up, lift the inner thigh, the big toe, stretch it back behind you, lengthen it, and lower it down. Same thing with the left foot, lift the left foot, lift the big toe, lift the inner thigh, lengthen it, lower it down. Pause, let your forehead rest for 3 breaths. If you want to rock your hips back and forth a few times, do so. All right, I'm going to talk you through this because if I keep my head down, you won't hear me. Your forehead should be down on the mat, not lifted. You're going to lift just your left leg behind you. Try not to move your pelvis at all. Switch. Lift your right leg behind you. Try not to move your pelvis at all. So try and keep equal weight between the pubic bone and both hip bones. Switch. Left leg lifts. Belly muscles should stay engaged. Pelvis should barely, if it moves, barely move. Switch. Right leg lifts. Pelvis should stay heavy, engaged. Muscles in the core. You should barely move the pelvis. All right. Upper body now. Forehead should still stay down. Lift your right arm up off the floor. Switch. Lift your left arm up off the floor. One more time. Inhale, lift the right arm. Switch. Inhale, lift the left arm. Okay, now take your gaze forward. Excuse me. I need another sip of tea. All right, now take your gaze forward. And as you're gazing forward, I'm going to slide my forearms into my body just a little bit. So it's in that karate chop motion. So I'm somewhere in between like a Superman and definitely not a Sphinx. Palms are facing each other like I'm hugging something between my arms. This is too much on your back. Slide your arms back straighter. Lift your right leg up, lift your left arm up. So you're swimming. Switch. Lift your left leg up, lift your right arm up. You'll find this exercise in yoga, in Pilates, I'm sure in other movement modalities as well, but take it slow. How I want you to do it is that the pelvis should not rock at all. Now from here, you can relax your forehead down if you wish, or you can keep it hovering, and you're gonna lift both arms and both legs. Full Superman, deep breath, reach and grow longer. One more breath. Lower your legs, slide your hands down by your shoulders. Traction the spine. Don't think cobra, I'm going up. Think I'm stretching out from my legs. So stretch. Drag the hands back, traction them, stretch the body forward, forward, forward. Exhale, lower it down. On the fingertips now, fingertips are off the mat. Inhale, stretch the body forward. Roll the shoulders to the left a little. Make a full circle down the center. Shoulders to the right, torso to the right, back up. Switch. Roll the shoulders to the right a little. Make a full circle to the left, back up. Repeat, let your shoulders move on your spine. So shoulder blades will kind of squeeze in towards each other, roll to the left, and then they'll relax. And then as you roll back up, they'll kind of squeeze in a little bit. Inhale. And last time, to the right. Let the shoulders move. Release tension in that upper back, to the left and back up. All right, relax. Make a pillow for your forehead with your hands. Bend your knees. Waggle your feet from side to side. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. Release the legs. Inhale, one more breath. And exhale. Take your hands under your shoulders. Press back to a hands and knees pose. Stretch it out, downward facing dog. Take your hands to the edges of your mat. Pull on the mat like you're trying to pull it apart. Press down with the heels. Lift the belly. Take a deep breath here. Exhale completely and fully. And then walk your feet a little bit closer and a little bit wider. Okay, so I'm going to turn to face you. We're going to twist. You can take your feet even wider. You can take them into more of a straddle. I'll mirror image, take your left hand to the outer right knee, slide it down to the outer right ankle, and then bend your left arm and take your gaze, your head underneath the right arm. Take a deep breath here. Exhale completely and fully. You could lean away, kind of lean over to the left if you want, straighten both arms, and then release and switch sides. So take your right arm to the outside of your left knee, slide it down to the left ankle, and then bend the left elbow and take your gaze, your body underneath that left arm. Deep breath. And one more breath. And then if you want, you could straighten both arms, kind of lean away. Release your left arm. Take your feet wider now, more into a straddle. They're off your mat. Walk your hands into the center, forward fold. And then heel toe your feet together so they're about hip distance apart. Bend your knees and slowly roll all the way up, all the way up, all the way up to standing. All right. That was a long warm up. Okay, let's do a little bit of flow. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see more of my body standing rather than just down on the mat. Okay, to the front of your mat, please. Inhale, open the arms wide, soft bend in the knees and fold. Step back, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. Lift the belly, press the arms, pull on the mat if your shoulders are still feeling tension or tightness. Otherwise, hands can rotate out about 10, 15 degrees. So they're slightly externally rotated. Take one more breath. Exhale completely. On your next exhale, bend your right knee, step your right foot forward. Spin your back heel down as if you're doing warrior one, but stay low to the ground. Bring your hands to the inside. Hug that outer right hip in just a little so that the knee doesn't dip internally, so it stays lined up with the toes. If you need to widen your stance, walk your right foot out to the right a few degrees. Stay here. Or option, use something to support your body, like a block or anything to lower your arms, possibly lower your forearms down. Take 3 deep breaths here. Breathe into that right hip. Keep lifting that left inner thigh. Relax the head, neck, and jaw. And notice if you're clamping with the toes, you should have energy moving through the toes, but you don't want them clamped and tight. If you've got your elbows down on something, take that something, whatever it is, out of the way. Step back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Lift the belly. Arms are strong. One more breath. Second side, step your left foot forward like warrior one. Hands to the inside, spin the right heel down. Maybe walk your left foot out a little. Hug that outer left hip in. If you need to, palpate with your hand, kind of notice where your hip is in space. And then hands to the inside. Option, lower forearms down on something to go a little deeper. Keep hugging that outer left hip in. Keep lifting now that right inner thigh. So it's as if I'm letting my head get down, 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 closer to the ground, but my legs are trying to lift me up. So there's this feeling of resistance, a healthy resistance here. Legs are maintaining the lift. The head and the torso is lowering. Breathe into your left hip. One more breath. And release. Step back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. Again, deep breath in, belly lifts, legs are strong. All the breath out, one more breath. Okay, step your right foot forward. Spin your left heel down. So I'm going to turn to face you. Take your right fingertips to the inside. Bring your left arm to the sky. Your fingertips could go down on a block or some kind of support. Left arm to the sky, tall, tall, tall. So more of a warrior two position in the legs. Reach that left arm up and over. Deep breath. Exhale completely. Grow longer. One more breath. And release. Step back to downward facing dog. While you step back, I'll switch sides. Deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. Another deep breath in. And all the breath out. Step the left foot forward. Spin the right heel down. Take your left fingertips to the inside. Reach your right arm to the sky. 3 breaths. Inhale. Reach that right arm up and over. Stretch. Lift that right inner thigh, but attempt to go deeper in that left leg. So now the right inner thigh is lifting, but the left glute, the left quad, the left hamstring is working. One more breath. And release. Step back, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale deeply. And exhale fully. And one more breath. And exhale. Step your right foot forward. I'm going to turn to face you again. Spin your left heel down. Take your fingertips to the inside. And then walk your hands towards the camera. Okay, so it's up a warrior two in the legs, but my fingers are almost lined up with my shoulders. Now take your right hand and not to the knee, but deep into that inner thigh where the hip bone meets. Push the inner thigh away just a little, get a little traction. Reach the chest forward. Deep breath in. Exhale all the breath out. Deep breath in. And all the breath out. Release, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Step the right foot back, down dog. Inhale deeply. I'm just switching sides. Exhale fully. And another inhale deeply. And exhale fully. Second side, step your left foot forward. Spin your right heel down, so as if a warrior two. Activate that outer left hip and then walk your hands forward to the inside. Left hand goes as close to that hip bone and the inner thigh groin as possible. Never around the knee. Right fingertips are strong. I'm stretching forward. At the same time, I'm pushing that left inner thigh away from me, stretching it back. Deep breath in. All the breath out. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Downward facing dog. Savor your down dog. Notice the energy in your fingers. Ground down from the index finger all the way to the pinky finger. And then attempt to lift the palms of the hands. So there's like a feeling of suction, energy moving up. With your legs, lift the kneecaps. Lift the quads all the way up the thighs so the frontal hip bones lift, the belly muscles lift. And then attempt to almost squeeze the mat together so you engage your inner thighs. And keep the inner thighs engaged and attempt to slightly stretch them out apart so you engage your outer hips. Bend your knees. Take your gaze forward, step up to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Come on the fingertips. Feet are about hip distance apart. Stretch the belly forward. Exhale, fold deeper. Take your fingertips wider. Inhale, Ardha. Stretch, belly forward. Exhale, lift the belly as you fold deeper. Relax the head. One more time. Maybe the fingertips go wider so you come down lower. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale and fold. Stay folded, micro bend the knees. Take your left hand to the outside of the left shin. Your right fingertips stay off to the side. Inhale, stretch forward, and then start to twist the torso towards the left. Engage that inner right thigh. Take a deep breath, and exhale, fold over that left thigh. Stay low, release, walk your hands to the right. Take your left hand to the outer right ankle or shin. Right fingertips are off to the side. Inhale, Ardha stretch. Engage that left inner thigh so you're lengthening it and engaging it away from the midline so your hip doesn't rotate with you. Exhale, fold. So your slight twist of the fold over that right thigh. Deep breath. Exhale completely. Come back to center. Take your feet about 2 to 3 inches wider. Bend your knees more. Interlace your fingers behind you and stretch the shoulders out. Lift the arms up and over. Deep breath. Exhale completely. One more breath. And exhale. Release. Step back. Downward facing dog. Once again, reset. Come back to center in your down dog. Notice what your body's doing. Engage through the fingertips. Engage through the knuckles of the hands. Engage through the legs, through the thighs. Take one more deep breath here. And then step your right foot forward, warrior one. Then your back heel flat, rise. Come all the way up, Vera one. Reach your arms up to the sky. Hook your thumbs, grow longer. Open the arms out to the side, interlace the fingers, humble warrior, either chest to thigh, keep that back inner thigh lifted, or shoulders to the inside and head drops down. Keep hugging that outer right hip in. Don't let it wing out to the side. Hug it in, hug it in. Release, plank pose. We're not going into vinyasa, but we will hold plank, 3 breaths. Belly muscles lifted. Broaden across the collarbones. You can bring the knees down, half plank. One more breath here. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Switch sides. Step your left foot forward, warrior one. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Reach the arms up to the sky. Keep that back inner thigh engaged. Open the arms, humble warrior. Interlace the fingers. Exhale, either chest to thigh or shoulders to the inside. Back leg, back inner thigh stays engaged. It lifts. It tries to lift you up, like it's trying to take you out of the pose, even as you go deeper, deeper, deeper. One more breath. Release, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Shift to your left hand. Roll your right foot in front of your left. Side plank variation. Reach your right arm up. Stretch. Squeeze inner thighs towards each other. Lift the arms up and over. Switch. Rotate back into plank. Roll to your right hand. Outer edge of right foot. Inner edge of left. Inhale. Reach your left arm up. Reach all the way up and over. Back into plank. And downward facing dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Forward fold. Bend your knees. Roll up to standing. Inhale, open the arms. Interlace the fingers, grow tall. Exhale and release. All right. In the interest of time, we'll do one more set of brief standing poses and then we'll take it down to some stretches. Take your feet wide, like a straddle. Turn your right foot forward. Come into warrior two. Let the pose get longer if possible, otherwise you can keep it shorter. Knee over the ankle, not in front. So this one, the back inner thigh is lifting up. I'm not pushing the leg out. It's almost like I'm trying to drag it up into my body. And so the energy from both legs comes up the midline. It moves into the chest, and then imagine it reaching out through the arms. Turn the palms up for a moment. The heart meridian, at least I've been taught, the heart meridian runs from middle finger across the heart to the other middle finger. So imagine that heart meridian receiving energy. And it's moving from the leg, so it's moving up into the body, out. Reach back with that back arm, take one more breath. And then forearm on thigh, reach that back arm up and over. Stay buoyant. So buoyant you could lift that forearm if you wanted to. It's actually there to push the thigh bone down more than it is to keep the chest upright. And take one more breath. Bend that back arm, bring that hand to the back of the skull. Lean back just a little bit. Not till you feel this in the low back. Keep the belly engaged, just so you open a little bit of that chest. Reach that top arm up and over, and then come back into warrior two. Release your hands. Stretch your legs straight, switch sides, turn your feet to parallel, turn your opposite foot out, bend your knee, warrior two. Adjust your stance, longer or shorter. Remember, the energy draws in. So that back straight leg is not pressing away from me, it's like trying to pull in. So energy comes up the midline, it should come up into the belly, into the heart, and then feel that meridian line, the heart meridian from middle finger to middle finger. Breathe, deep breath. Nourish the heart. And one more breath. Forearm gently on the thigh. Reach the top arm up and over. Breathe. And then check. Notice, right? Can you take the forearm to push the thigh down? Because when you do that, you can actually lift the chest up taller. Or if you're collapsing and you lift the forearm, you'll float down. So we don't want that. We want forearm pushing that thigh bone down, descending the femur. Top arm lengthening. Back inner thigh lifting. And then bend that top arm. Take the hand to the head like you're leaning back casually. Lean back just a little. Use the belly muscles though. Too much, you're going to feel the low back. So belly muscles are strong. One more breath. Bring that top arm back up and over. Inhale, warrior two. Stretch your legs straight. Straddle, forward fold, hands to hips. Inhale. Lift the frontal hip bones, lift the chest. Lift the knees, lift the quads. Exhale, stay lifted in the legs. Push down with the legs as you fold. Keep pushing down. Keep pushing down, right leg and left leg. Keep pushing down all the way down. Then hands to ankles, shins, or to the floor. You can take your hands to your ankles. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the sides and fold. Keep pushing down with those legs. Almost as if you were to go up into a handstand. You'd have to push down with the legs to lift up. That's the amount of energy I want you to have. Push down, push down, push down. Don't stop pushing down. It'll protect your back. Take one more breath. Push down even more as you come up. Hands to the hips. Keep pushing down and rise up. Swivel your feet to one side, hips to one side. Hips are facing that front foot. Step your back foot in about 6 inches. Inhale, exhale, and fold. Hands can go to your shins, or if you have a block, you can take your hands to the block. If you have knee tension, micro bend that knee, right? If you tend to hyperextend, imagine that there's something like a block pressing the calf muscle. So it's not so much that the knee bends as the calf muscle energetically presses forward, and that prevents you from hyperextending the knee. Exhale, lower down and fold. Breathe into your low back, breathe into your sacrum. Inhale, come on up. Remember, push with the legs to come up. Switch back to center. Swivel your feet to the second side. Adjust. So your front foot should be in line with the hip. Your back heel should be in line with the back hip. You don't want to be on a tightrope. Take a deep breath here. Hands to the hips. Both legs are pressing down. Exhale and fold. Both legs stay pressing. Again, if you tend to lock your knee, imagine you can even take your hand to the back of the calf muscle. Something's pressing that calf muscle forward enough that you micro bend the knee as you fold. Breathe into the pelvis. Breathe into the low back. Full deep breaths. Keep both legs working. Both legs are pressing down, 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 all the way down into the ground. And then inhale, legs stay pressing, come all the way up. Turn your feet to parallel. Heel toe the feet till they're about hip distance apart. Gently stretch your left arm up. Take your right hand to your hip, reach up and over. Switch sides. Take your right arm up, left hand to hip, reach up and over. And take both hands behind your back, either fist to fist, knuckle to knuckle, or palms together in reverse prayer. If you have reverse prayer, bring the thumbs together. Just standing. Use your hands, if you're in reverse prayer, wiggle them up the spine. See if you can get into those tight areas of the upper back. And take one more breath. Exhale completely. All right. So if you have a block, you can use a block. If you have a blanket, this is actually more comfy with a blanket. But take a blanket, and my teacher Annie used to say, roll it like a taquito, not like a burrito. All right, so have your blanket folded and then roll it tight like a taquito. Tight, 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 tight. Try and, not have any excess folds in there. So be a little anal about this, roll it. Now, for most of us, this is way too big. This is more of a burrito, right? So I'm gonna roll it halfway to demo. And then the bottom roll is gonna go underneath my shoulder blades, pretty much where the bra line is. This part can be for my head. And you gotta play with it. So as I lower down, I'm gonna kind of adjust my body. Okay, so I feel that under the shoulder blades. My head actually comes up and over to the floor, and that feels fine. you might want a pillow for your head. You might also come down here and say, gosh, I don't feel much at all. I need to feel more, okay? So if you need to feel more, you're gonna make your roll tighter, okay, and thicker. Again, roll should go towards the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, not into the waist, not into the low back. And you'll know, because once you get on that spot, it's generally where most of us hold our tension. And you'll kind of have to micro adjust just above or just below that area, a few millimeters at most. Arms can go out to the sides, I prefer, or arms overhead is not going to feel comfortable for most people, but that's also possible. Arms out to the sides. You can also bend your elbows like a cactus. And then for your legs, most of us want our legs straight in this position. I recommend legs straight, feet flexed. Knees bent tends to get into the low back. If this does not feel good, then you're going to bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana. For my body, Baddha Konasana does not feel good at all. For some people, that feels better than legs straight. Okay, but those are your two options. And now breathe. Breathe into that roll, right? The area that the roll was touching in between your shoulder blades. Breathe into that space. Exhale, soften. Soften something. Inhale, breathe into that space. Exhale, soften something. Let something go. Not all of it, just a little bit at a time. If your legs are straight, keep spreading through the toes. Keep energy through the legs. Keep the tailbone slightly reaching forward. Belly muscles slightly engaged. Inhale. Exhale. And then check in with yourself. Do you need to adjust? Do you need to move up a millimeter or down a millimeter? Just make sure. Make sure that you're feeling great. By this point, you should feel like it's a relief. It's a stretch. It might be tight, but it should feel like a relief. If you want to make it more intense, reach your arms overhead and then cross elbows and forearms and let your forearms drift up and overhead. Maybe the forearms touch beyond your head. This will give you a really deep stretch on the sides of the body. I love it, but this doesn't work for everyone. So if it doesn't work for you, arms can stay straight overhead or keep them out to the sides. Deep breath in now. Exhale, keep reaching from tailbone to the heels. So you create length in the low back. One more breath. And exhale. All right. Interlace your fingers. Bring them behind the head like you're about to do a sit-up. You're about to do a mini crunch. Take a deep breath. If your legs were in Baddha Konasana, bring them out straight. Open your feet about a couple inches to hip distance apart. Curl up, curl up, curl up. Inhale, let the head get heavy. Exhale, curl up, curl up, curl up. Try and make your shoulder blades light. Good. And again, two more. Inhale, let the head get heavy. Exhale, curl up, curl up, curl up. Try and make the shoulder blades lighter. Really draw all the muscles on the front body down and in. Last one, inhale. Exhale, curl up, curl up, curl up. All right. Use your elbows, forearms. Come on up. Move the blanket off to the side. Immediately come back down. Draw your knees, option, into your chest or take a happy baby. Grab a hold of the edges of your feet and draw your knees down towards around your shoulders. If you're doing happy baby, it's really nice to stretch just one leg straight. You can kind of even rock to that hip. And then switch, bend that knee, stretch the other leg straight. You can even rock to that hip. Repeat if you want, or come back to happy baby. Take a deep breath. Exhale completely. Bring your knees back into the center. Knees are touching. Make a little ball with the body. Curl up. Tighten everything. And then release. Lower your feet. Stretch your legs out. Close your eyes. Draw one shoulder blade underneath you at a time if your shoulder's kind of curled up. So rock to one side, draw the opposite shoulder blade under. Switch, rock to the one side, other shoulder blade under. You can wiggle your feet a few inches back and forth until your legs feel like they're in neutral. They'll be slightly turned out. I'm going to talk you through Savasana while you stay in it. Keep your spine heavy and relaxed. Keep the back of the skull relaxed. And allow that sensation in the chest, all that upper thoracic opening. It was gentle, but it was focused. So keep the chest light. Let the energy in the chest be light. Notice the energy in the chest, especially. And notice if there's anything on there that wishes to be softened or released. If so, allow yourself in this moment to visualize a cleansing energy. Could be pure light. I like to visualize clear light or golden light like the sun drifting in you. And as it drifts in you, it fills you up. And this is your energetic body. So visualize the energetic you, not the physical muscle, bone, flesh expression of you, the energetic you, and fill yourself up with this light. So if you want to visualize the body in the shape of a human, visualize it that. You can visualize the energetic you in a geometric shape like a sphere. Whatever you visualize, fill that up with light. Fill it up. Fill it up. Keep filling it with light. And as you fill it with light, notice areas that are in resistance or might feel like they're darkness or murkiness, cloudiness. Let the light transform those areas. On an energetic level, we know energy cannot be created or destroyed, but it can be shifted. So we're not necessarily pushing that energy out. We're actually transforming it. Visualize any areas that you're holding on to, any areas where that heaviness is still there. Visualize them being infused with light. And then imagine you're going to turn the light up even more. So imagine walking into a room, the lights are on, there's a dimmer switch, and you're going to turn that dimmer switch up just a notch. And then turn that dimmer switch up just another notch. And find that comfortable space where that light on the inside, that inner dimmer switch is turned up as bright as you need it to be right now. From this space of that inner dimmer switch being bright and alive, draw your inhale in. Notice the breath is energy. As you exhale, release all the breath out. Keep that light inside of you, even as you start to connect more with the physical body. Draw your next breath in. As you exhale, release all the breath back out. And from here, you might start to wiggle your fingers or your toes. You might start to feel like you want to stretch. Let the body move in whatever way feels organic and natural. Take a deep breath. And exhale. And roll over to your side. Press yourself back up to seated. Let your palms come together to seal your work, your energy, your time. The more that we take care of ourselves, the more we can take care of all those around us. Namaste. Thanks for playing with me today.